Before we begin, I'll be giving away a copy of En Garde. It'll be on the platform of your choice. Just like the video, leave a comment below. I'll select it at random. I guess the best way to describe En Garde is that it is a spectacle, especially in the way it approaches its combat, which is some of the most satisfying I've played in a long time. Combat is fluid, it is dynamic, and this is especially true because of the interactive environments in this game. And I think it's probably one of the most unique things about it is that you really have this responsive, snappy combat. I think the dodge works really well. I think the parry works really well. But one of the things that really separates En Garde from any other game, in my opinion, out in the market is that events that would normally seem like a quick time event or something that's planned is not. Everything you do in this game is dependent upon the player's creativity. And En Garde is one of those games in which if you have certain items in the environment, if it's just a table, a chair, whatever, you are able to utilize it to your advantage to take on these groups of enemies. Like I said, the multi-directional combat is very fluid, it's very fun, but when you are facing down 5, 6, 7, 8, doesn't matter the number, you can run around and just start kicking tables into them, knocking down vases, throwing bombs at people, all of this stuff to kind of clear the room. It is an incredible amount of fun. Experimentation is incredibly important in this game. You're already very agile, very capable with a sword, but enemies will block and counter you constantly. If you've ever played Sifu, think of it as when you were trying to get that one up on that enemy and you're just constantly breaking into a combo and then for whatever reason they just counter you. Same thing here, but the big difference is that in En Garde, you can use items in the environment to interrupt enemies, and you can do it in hilarious ways. You want to throw a turkey at them and watch the turkey get stuck to their head? Go and do that. You want to kick a candelabra into someone's face and watch it just smash into them? Sure. You want to kick a crate into this individual, have them hit this stand, and have that pot fall into their head? Absolutely. Go do your thing. The best thing I have seen in this game is that I threw a bomb at a pot. The pot exploded, creating this area effect. I was fighting these captains, and these captains are really tough enemies because it takes so much to break down their shield. So as I was fighting this enemy, and after that bomb went up and the pot exploded, I thought to myself, well, it's more than likely gone for good, right? That's normally how your mind thinks when you're playing these types of games. But instead, that pot just happened to fall directly onto that enemy, and it knocked them out completely. So instead of having this two-phase fight, I just fought them in one phase, and that was, to me, probably one of the most enjoyable things I have seen in a game. I loved every moment I got to experiment because as you go along, the arenas get more elaborate, enemies get more difficult to fight, and so while you are still very capable and you do have special abilities that will help you counter some of these defenses, it's just more fun to go around the arena and just blow shit up. That's exactly what I was doing the entire time while playing this game. Now, the only downside to me is that the campaign is only 4 hours long, and that really depends on your skill set. I expect there are going to be individuals that can speedrun this game. There is an achievement for level 3 in which you can complete it. I think it said under 30 seconds, which is insane to me. I want to see someone do that. But it is relatively short. Although I will say that the campaign was really fun. It was engaging. There were nice little platforming sections. A lot of really fun combat encounters. And you should always look at the combat encounters as sort of puzzles as well, because you do have to figure out how to take down enemies really efficiently. If you kind of use up all the resources in the arena too soon, you will find yourself in a struggle, and you will find that out to be very true when you start fighting some of the bosses. Now, me personally, I don't believe that a short runtime should ever be seen as a negative, but I do understand there are going to be individuals out there who are going to want to get their bang for their buck. And here's the deal. Short campaign, but it's of a high quality. And I think the game is very charming. I think the combat is very addicting. I really enjoy the fact there are multiple ways to engage enemies. And if you really enjoy the combat, there is an optional arena mode for you to try. And I really recommend that people try out arena mode for the sole fact that it will help you acclimate to the combat. It'll help you learn mechanics. It'll help you experiment and learn what's the most efficient way to deal with certain enemies. One of the things and abilities I did not use enough was the ability to somersault over enemies and surprise them, which would open them up for attacks. I should have used that more, but I was more interested in just kind of throwing powder at enemies or blowing them up, that type of stuff. But I really feel like arena mode is the perfect place for you to experiment and really understand how items in the environment interact with enemies and how they interact with other items. So while En Garde is a short game, I do feel like there's a lot of replayability here. And it's not just the arena mode. I feel like the arena mode helps you as a player become more efficient so you can dive back into the campaign and then create new strategies in combat to effectively help you become more efficient as a whole. And I honestly can't wait to see how crazy quick some of these speedruns get, because the game itself is just a ton of fun. I also want to say that the developers do an excellent job of making this one of the most polished independent titles I've played in a long time. When I tell you that the combat is super responsive, I really mean that. I did not find a section in this game where I was overly frustrated because something did not work as intended. This is one of those rare titles where everything just works the way you want it to. And I thought that that would kind of be impossible because you do have certain platforming areas in the arenas, and I thought that maybe there would be like some type of hitch every now and again, and there wasn't. I just had a great time ragdolling enemies by using the environment, and I just didn't see anything that was particularly wrong. There was no like outstanding bugs or glitches. It is just an impressively polished game, and I think that's something the developer should be applauded for. And that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. This is a short video because it is a really short game. Don't forget to like the video and leave a comment. And for the comment, let's say you want to tailor it toward your favorite indie experience so far, because I really want to know where everyone's head's at. For me, I personally think Dave the Diver is going to take it this year because that game has so much depth. There is so much to that game. It is so much fun. But I really feel like En Garde is probably going to have its name close to it near the end of the year when people are talking about it, because this is a really polished, really fun arena battler. And I just think it's one of my biggest surprises of the year, because I did not expect a game to come out with this much polish and not enough fanfare, in my opinion. I really hope that this game kind of hooks its teeth into people. I'm hoping that En Garde reviews well, and I'm hoping a lot of people enjoy it. I'm looking forward to seeing the comments though. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time.